I was kind of cool. Cold Seavers.
Yeah, Cold Seavers, absolutely.
I wanted to be Lee Majors.
Yeah.
So
Hi guys, I'm Anthony from Rothenberger in the UK, and we're here for another episode of the Pipe Up podcast. Here today with a very good friend of mine, Paul Clark from Concept Plumbing and Heating. How you doing, Paul?
Very well, thanks, mate. How are you?
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. So, explain where we are first, because this is brilliant as a setup.
So, where we are today is a site that I'm working on. Mm-hmm. I'm currently doing a first fix here. So, it's a commercial building. Yeah. You might hear a few noises in the background, if I'm being honest with you. But
it's real life.
But it's real life.
Yeah.
So it's just nice and quiet, and we can I can show you some stuff what I've been up to.
That'd be fantastic. To be fair, it's quite nice. We've done a couple now where we've been on the road, so we're calling it the road show, if you like.
Yeah.
And it is quite good to actually. This is the first time actually on a site.
Yep.
Where we can actually, as I'm looking up there, I can see press fittings. Everything nice straight lines, as we was just talking about beforehand as well.
Thank you.
So thank you again for agreeing to do it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's nice to be associated, nice to be with Rothenberger.
That's fantastic, mate. So how did you get into plumbing? Where did it start for you? We was just talking about.
Yeah. So I mean, we just mentioned my dad. So I'm a third generation plumbing and heating engineer.
Right.
Was I destined to do this job? Probably not. At school, I wanted to be a stuntman, and that didn't really happen. School didn't encourage you, so.
Oh, you genuinely wanted to be a stuntman?
I genuinely wanted.
Right. Sorry.
You know, we were talking about before about different generational thing. I was kind of Cold Seavers.
Yeah, Cold Seavers. Absolutely.
I wanted to be Lee Majors.
Yeah.
So no, hope you can cut that bit out.
But no.
So I genuinely wanted to. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be a stuntman. Pie in the sky, silly things. Wow. But I ended up falling into this. I education-wise, I probably didn't have the best education. Mm-hmm. But my dad was a plumber. Yeah. My granddad was a plumber, and I thought, why not?
Yeah.
And if the truth be known, when I was doing options and I was doing school and stuff, it was kind of at the back of my mind. A flippant comment, the stuntman. Yeah. But it was in the back of my mind of what I was going to do.
Yeah.
So I left school, and I went on a youth training scheme, otherwise known as a YTS.
Yes.
A YTS. And
how much did you get paid?
£18 a week. That was for the first year, and I think it went up to about £28 a week. When I was in the second year, I think. Yeah. If I'm not gonna lie, having a father and son relationship, I couldn't. It really struggled to get along, spending all that time with each other. So I ended up, because I was on a YTS, I ended up getting a different placement. Yeah. So I ended up going to a guy that I called my old boss, whose name's Phil, who actually, the other day, was it last week? I seen him last week, and we had a conversation for about an hour. So still staying in contact with him. So it was the journey started with my dad, and as I say, it's been a third generational thing, but it didn't continue with him, to be fair. But it's still it's still a great journey.
Did you, as a new starter? Was there any wind-ups and stuff they did with you? Or?
Well, we were a one-man band, so my old boss was a one-man band, so it was very, very regimented work environment, which has probably helped me no end with the stuff that I do now. But there's always site banter, and to be fair, you kind of the way that the world has gone, there's a lot of site banter gone now. You're not allowed to have it. It's still around. It's those site characters that you used to have. That I couldn't possibly talk about on camera at all. But
and that's the thing now, because there's cameras everywhere on site now as well. I don't mean today. What about just in general?
Absolutely.
And all that. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's a different generation, shall we say?
Absolutely. But no, it was. I kind of fell into this industry, not really knowing what I was going to do. But moving forward 30 years, I'm super proud of being a plumber now.
Brilliant.
I love my job. I love what I'm doing. The fact that I'm sat here now with camera stuff in front of me, with Rothenberger, and being a brand ambassador for you guys. I often wonder, how the hell did I get to this point?
Well, it's your posts for a start, mate. I mean, you look at some of the stuff what you've posted, and there's some effort gone into your posts in a big way. How do you balance, because you've still got to work and earn a living?
Yeah.
So when you're doing it, and I'm useless at it, but you'll put like music on things, and you'll do the fast forwarding and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
How has it took you a long time to learn all that, or is it just try as you go?
The editing and putting videos together is completely alien.
It's a job in itself.
It's a job in itself, and people don't understand that when you do have to put that together. Yeah. So and when do you do that? You usually have to do it at night. Then if you're working all day. Yeah. If you're a family man, I've got 4 kids. You've got to try and get that balance. Yeah. And at one stage of my life, I'm going to be honest with you, it was kind of really taken over. My wife turned around to me and said, "Listen, you need to rein it back a little bit." So it's a difficult thing. The editing and putting things together takes equally as long. Doing a video, you're looking at a nice shot, or you're looking at something and saying, that would be nice content. Yeah. But ultimately, this whole journey, certainly for me, has been not about self-promotion. Yeah. It's never about that. It's not about look at me, because if you actually know me, it's completely alien to my personality. What this is about is trying to improve the industry and trying to improve the reputation that tradesmen on they're not that great, or they've got a bad rep, that they're just scallies and things like that. But that's the whole journey. 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now, I got on was to actually try and improve the industry and show people through videos what you can actually achieve by either putting some effort in or using some different products. Yeah. What a straight line is, and things like that. What a straight line is, and if people do go back in my Instagram account and look at the first videos, I didn't have enough confidence to even stand in front of a camera. No, I had a little Playmobil man, right, and that was really. Yeah, I didn't have enough confidence to.
So what would you do? You have the Playmobil man.
So
he's talking, you're talking, but he's talking.
Well, he was kind of like putting him in the shot. I'd give him a name called Captain Hollywood, because some of the reps used to call me Captain Hollywood. Right. I could do all the high end stuff I'd do. So I'd literally put him in and take pictures, and having the confidence to be able to do the work, because ultimately, we are people anybody that's doing that, yourself doing this now, and people, anybody that's doing a video or an edit or a reel is putting the heart on the sleeve and putting it out there. Oh yeah. And it's quite difficult.
It comes a lot easier, doesn't it, when you've got a passion for either product or industry or whatever it is. That's what I've felt since I've moved to this company. It's getting on for my 9th year now, and it feels like yesterday. I live and breathe it. Yeah. And it's like, if I see something online I'm really interested in, there's a couple of guys, I don't know if you know them, Bulldog and Central Heating TT, I think they do a little Instagram chat called Plumbers Crack, I think, and just little things like that. And if I can, I'll always pop in and have a little listen. It's real life, not the corporate aspect, because we're dressed here. It's proper work, proper job. No offence to corporate people. Obviously, I'm very corporate myself.
You like to move up the ladder.
Yeah. But I just find it's sort of, you've got to be able to talk to everybody, haven't you?
You're almost a chameleon. In the way that you need to talk. Yeah. And certainly when you're on the tools and you're out on a daily basis, you could be going to 9 or 10 different jobs. Yeah. So you've then got to try and manage 9 or 10 different personalities with people, and be able to relate to those people, and they need to be able to relate to you. And I'll use an example. Yesterday I walked into my suppliers, one of my suppliers. I went to buy a tap insert. Yeah. Stood at the counter, gentleman walks in, started chatting to him. The phone call we had just before we started filming was him ringing me up, wanting me to do some work for him. which is so that he doesn't know me from Adam. He doesn't know my skill level. He's certainly not on any of the socials, so he won't know anything like that. But he liked the personality.
Yeah,
and he liked what I was talking about. So that's a job now.
Yeah.
So it's I know he will get me to do the work.
Yeah, and it's work, and it's obviously putting food on the table and all
absolutely.
that, isn't it? The same sort of thing. So talking about social media in particular there. So how would you say it's helped you? If it has, I don't know. From your own point of view, I know obviously you work with some other brands as well.
Yeah. I've got a few brand ambassadorships, and I take them all very, very personal. So I only. My sole goal with my socials was I'm only going to get involved with brands that I truly believe in.
Yeah.
And that's important to me because this is all about credibility.
Yeah.
We can join pipes together for a living all day long, but doing this sort of stuff, I think you do have to come across as being quite credible. Mm-hmm. So the social media side, if you do know me, it is completely alien to me, but I give it a go. I like being out of the comfort zone. And that's quite nice occasionally, but it is quite frustrating. You get a lot of people who will always sort of troll and do all the negative stuff. And as I said before, you are trying to either improve the industry or show a different aspect of the industry that you can actually. We're not just boiler suit wearing, plunger driving, soldering, smoking plumbers. We are actually engineers that are doing a great job out there and doing stuff like that. So it's and obviously the job's changed. As I've said to you, I'm a third generation plumbing and heating engineer. My granddad would not understand absolutely anything that I do now, and even my father. My father, I remember fitting a combination boiler with my father, and he's going, "What's this?" He couldn't get his head around what a combination boiler was. Combination boilers are in everybody's house, or 99.9% of everybody's houses, and we're moving into air source heat pumps and other forms of energy.
Have you started getting into that, by the way? Air source heat pumps?
Yes, I have.
My foot's gone to sleep, by the way, so I'm just having to move around.
Have I started getting into air source heat pumps? Yes and no. I've put things down to try and get it. So the big thing for me would be the MCS.
Right.
MCS accreditation. Trying to have that in place.
Right.
And that's a big thing. So but I've been on training courses. I've started putting my feet down to try and move forward in that industry. At the moment, I haven't really been asked for that many air source heat pumps.
No.
I know there's people that are out there that do, and there's big companies that are set up there. And so I'm sitting back at the moment and just seeing which way the industry's going to go. Yeah,
it's quite a good way to be, because at this stage it's so new. I suppose you don't know which products are going to work better, or I'm told it's all about specification, isn't it? Really, with that, because if you put in an air conditioning unit or whatever into a room of a certain size, if it's not spec'd specifically for that room,
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work, and that's where people are saying, "Oh, it's crap."
Yeah, and it will get bad press. But combination boilers got bad press when they first come out in the 80s. It was these things aren't going to work because people were just chucking 24 kilowatt boilers
regardless
in with a hot water flow rate of 15 litres per minute, and it just wouldn't work.
No.
So it is a learning curve, but it wouldn't be that. I wouldn't be that rude and wouldn't be that arrogant that I wouldn't learn. And I am learning, but at the moment I've got an industry and a business that I can rely on to do whatever. I have been been involved with solar hot water for many years. In fact, I've got to go and look at a job tomorrow to look at solar hot water.
Right, okay.
Don't know how that's going to go, because that's meant to be now a dead technology. Excuse me, I've got an itchy leg. But it's and air source seems to be taken over. But
have you got obviously when you're all working together with other guys, engineers and whatnot, obviously from the ones you obviously know now from social media and things like that, but do you, from a relationship point of view, a couple of you, do you go and see, I don't know, if there's a job you're not sure on.
Okay.
Do you pick each other's brains if you've got people locally who you work with? Or, I don't know if the guy's next door or whatever.
The guy's next door. So one of the things that social media has done, and you know, the events that we've been on, and certainly global stuff as well.
Yeah.
When I was a young apprentice, I was told, don't speak to other plumbers. If somebody ever asked you about what you're doing, it's always, I'm mad busy. We weren't allowed to be open.
Absolutely.
We are now. So let's just say, for instance, today I've spoke to somebody in Newcastle who's another plumbing and heating engineer.
Yeah.
A very good friend of mine that I've met through a different source. I speak to him. How you doing? What you're going? What you're up to? There's a place. There's a guy. You know, I speak to Lee quite a lot.
Yeah.
From Peaky in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
I speak to somebody down in Scotland, also up in Scotland and down in London.
Yeah.
And we kind of now have. We now kind of have a international network, and certainly some of the things that you guys have put together with your ambassador days and things like that, it breaks down the barriers, and I can speak to somebody in Germany over social media.
Yeah.
How are you doing with this? The other thing that I will mention about this job is that it can actually be quite lonely.
Absolutely, yeah.
And to have those barriers taken down, where you can ring up Anthony and say, how you doing, pal? What are you up to today?
Exactly.
It makes a world of difference.
That is one thing I would say, definitely, when I was doing on the tools. Sometimes it could be such a lonely job. Mind you, I'm saying that repping can be a lonely job. Absolutely. When I was doing that.
Yeah. Just imagine, you're going for the contract, you lose the contract, you're then driving around, or you're there with your own internal thoughts. So I'm very conscious that I will speak to people. Yeah. On a daily and weekly basis. Yeah. Which is quite nice.
It's good. You have to. I've found that since I might have mentioned it on a previous one, but since COVID, I know now I have to speak to people. Because you sometimes you get drowned in your own thoughts, and you're thinking you tend to, when you're in your own thoughts, look at all the what if that happens rather than the what if that happens. Well, it could be a good thing.
I say to people that 90% of my day. I'm speaking to my internal monologue. Driving around in your car and working on site, and it's quite nice to get a phone call and think that somebody's thinking about you or doing whatever. So it is, and just imagine that internal monologue was off kilter. It can be a very lonely place. So tradespeople talking, tradesmen, interacting with people, I'm all for now. The barriers are down with me. If anybody who ever wants to ring me or speak to me or do whatever, I'll always take the call. If not, I can't take the call, I'll always ring back.
Absolutely,
and say, listen, how are you doing? What are you up to? And sometimes that's all it takes.
I'm very sort of conscious of that when you rang me last week when I was at Tool Fair and I could hardly hear you. But I still picked up the phone, even though I thought, is there any point answering this, Ant? And and then but I still wanted to let...
That's every conversation we've ever had, by the way.
I always turn the radio on.
Turn the radio on.
But it's like, I'm so conscious of answering the phone if I can. And I was so on Friday, and I had a message off Lee saying, can you give us a quick bell? And it was all crackers. And then next time I look down, it says, don't worry, sorted, or something like that. And I thought, thank God for that, because because I was busy doing stuff. And you don't like to not answer the phone, do you? If you care about people and you want people to succeed. And that's all it is, and that's what you have to be. Actually, speaking of things like that as well, where I went to Parliament a few weeks back, it was for the Stop Tool Theft thing. But while I was there, I met guys from On the Tools TV.
Right, okay.
Really good guys. And they, I think, along with Band of Builders, I might be wrong here, so this might be an edit, but I think it's them. They've got a charity called The Lost City.
Okay.
Or I say charity, where it actually, they put online a picture of a city, and because of all the guys and girls, maybe, but who have committed suicide, tradespeople who have committed suicide because they haven't been able to put food on the table, or they feel like the failures, and they show this picture of a city where this would have been built if XYZ hadn't done this. This was really worth having a look. It just reminded me of that then.
It's so important to
absolutely.
talk to
and it is talking.
And you're never alone.
No.
You're always a phone call or phone call away. I this week I probably spoke to 4 or 5 different tradespeople, and we're on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 different tradespeople. How you doing? What you up to? Where you're at? Have a bit of crack. Have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Put somebody on a different mindset. Because it can be a lonely job.
Yeah, definitely. What about, speaking of what I was down Parliament for, I had a chat with, I'll say other people because I don't know which order these podcasts are going to be coming in at the moment, but the tool theft thing. Have you been affected yourself, or do you know people who have? Or
tool theft? Okay, so I've had my van broken into 4 times and cleared out 3 times. So that's something that at the time I was told that you can't get insurance for, you can't do this, you can't do that, because it's usually at night. So the last time that happened, it cost me, I think it cost me about £5,000, right, just to get me back onto my feet, and with a load more stuff that I needed to buy. But at least I literally went and had to go and put myself back in a position where I could go to work, and that's difficult. So I have been directly affected by it. What's the answer? I don't know. I think creating an awareness like we're doing at the moment with trade, with the socials, is certainly a key thing. I don't want to seem controversial, but I do believe the tool manufacturers can do an awful lot more.
Okay.
I think
apart from I'm with you.
So I do believe the tool manufacturers can do an awful lot more.
Yeah.
And and I'll use this as an example, and this may have to be an edit.
Right. Okay.
If in the 80s you could go and buy a car radio, from a local pub, that somebody's nicked from a car, then car radios, you used to have to get a code, that you used to have to go to the manufacturers to get that code if you lost that code. Don't quote me on that, but it was along those lines. I would imagine the car radio theft, and I think it did, it almost got eradicated.
Absolutely, I would say the same.
You can't buy a car radio now.
Why
would you? And I think that I know it's a flipping comment.
I assume it's still out there with older cars. But
absolutely, you can't go and buy a car radio. Just imagine if you had to do the same thing with tools. You have to, you've got GPS involved with them and things like that. Is it going to stop them? No, but it's going to make people think twice. Yeah. I think that's why I say with tool manufacturers may have to, looking at them.
It's deterrence, isn't it, as well?
A deterrent.
That's obviously the whole idea of these podcasts, by the way, is not to talk about just Rothenberger tools. No, but like with the compact, you've got the Compact 3, you've got the Bluetooth thing and when I'm selling at shows or doing a tool fair, sold a few the other day, and obviously you can lock it on the app. Yeah. There's going to be a way, they're going to be able to, but it's a deterrent. If somebody knows, they're a pain in the backside because it's probably going to be locked. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's all it's like, just deterrence. Obviously, there needs to be a bigger deterrent. The other side, which is some of the guys.
Again, and that's why I mean it's controversial. So just imagine there was bigger sentences for people, or actual sentences for people, possibly. That exactly. Actually that get caught, but then. It's a big task. It's a big industry for people. I've come from an era where you get your tools stolen at the top of the road. By the time, and somebody would sell them at the bottom of the road at a different site. And have no qualms and no morals, but to be able to buy those. Exactly. But it's all an educational thing, and I do believe that we can do a lot more. But I think. Maybe I'm not just picking on guys.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about tool manufacturers. Would, if they were to step up a little bit, we have GPS technology now. Or whatever you can. Could we not put something like that in a? There's
the paint thing as well. I've been reading about recently. The DNA. think what it's called now, but the paint thing.
Okay, so
if we find it, we'll put the link on the bottom there. That'd be quite
so that's a great idea. The paint that will identify.
Yeah.
But we're looking at a man source. We're looking at how do you get back? And I had this conversation with another tool manufacturer, and they said, well, okay, how would you, if you knew where your tools were going, would you go and get them?
Yeah.
And you go, you probably wouldn't walk into somewhere like that, but and I think deterrence is the way forward as opposed to. So if whatever deterrence you can have, but it needs to be addressed massively.
It needs to be addressed, like say from that side. I do think
we're talking about men's livelihoods here, by the way.
Exactly.
And we've touched on suicide. We've touched on livelihoods. You lose all your tools, and you haven't got enough money to be able to go back to work the next day or the day after. That plays with somebody's mind, something dreadful. So it's a difficult call.
When we were there down and listening to some of the stories, I was not blind to it, because you see all the posts on socials now about you can be just stood outside your house and you're just watching guys. One guy's got a big wrench in his hand, in other words, you come near me, and they're just emptying it while they're stood there.
Yeah,
there's just, like I say, no deterrence at all for it, and that's what the latest thing at Parliament is all about. This Amanda Martin MP. Yeah. Trying to categorise it, get it categorised higher. And what we did at Tool Fair, they got the QR code, we stuck it up there, and any time anybody come over, we'd say, if they're buying stuff, great, blah, blah, blah. Go, oh, you couldn't just sign the petition as well, could you? Yeah. Explain what it was all about if they didn't know. But there are a few guys now, and I think just doing things like this, I think helps. Of course. Just talk about it and keep it out there.
It can kill your business. It can kill your business, and to have no consequence for the people who do that is another kick in the teeth for tradespeople.
Yeah. Sometimes it is like a slap on the wrist. You shouldn't have done that. Meanwhile, John's bloody thinking about suicide. Yeah. It's just absolutely mad. And then you see the videos of car boot sales.
Yeah. It needs to be massively addressed, and I think the guys that have really promoted this, they've done really well to get it to Parliament to that stage, and get people like yourselves involved, and other tool manufacturers to get them all in there, because it's a real thing. Yeah, and it's not nice to wake up in the morning. And this is the last time it happened to me. Oh God, how many years ago? To wake up in the morning and go to work and go to the back of your van and then realise that you haven't got a single tool in there.
Horrible.
And your heart sinks, and you think straight away, how am I going to do this? And you know what? The last time that happened to me, I made a couple of phone calls, a couple of good tradesmen. They turned up with some buckets full of tools. Full of tools, some old drills, some this, that, and the other. Go on, lad, let's get you working again, and it gets you going, and again, solidarity, that community spirit that can help. One of the things that I was going to pioneer with a local tool shop was actually have not crowdfunding, but actually put a fund together of tools. Effective, like a bank of tools. Yeah. So they drills, circular saws, hand tools, whatever. Yeah. A bunch of tools that gets held at a central location, and if something happens to your tools, you can go and get those tools. Yeah. You use them until you get them back on your feet, and then you hand them back. Yeah. Like a tool.
So if somebody's bought a brand new saw, because we love a gadget, brought a brand new saw, the old one still works. What do you mean? Sort of give it however it works.
But even like the local tradesmen where I am in the village and the towns, put some money into it and maybe have a bank of tools that if you do get stolen, if your tools get stolen, then you can effectively you're going to sign them out, if you will. Yeah.
Big cities, like you could have a central hub in it of different cities.
Dip into that tool pot. Get yourself back up and running for a couple of weeks, and then you buy your tools, and then you hand them back, and then somebody else can use them, and just have that, so that you can still get back to work quite quickly. which I thought was quite a nice idea. And let's hope somebody might take it up.
That's what it is, isn't it? It's just doing that kickstart of right. Okay, here's the central hub for this area, and then it will just no doubt go all over.
We're not saying to keep them forever.
No.
But what I'm saying to you, you can go back to work. You can, for whatever insurance you might need, that might take 2 or 3 weeks to come through, or if not a month. Yeah. But then at least you're working, and you're not having to have a massive outlay, and you're still not having to worry about your food and other things that like family life. Yeah. So you can get back to work.
So on a lighter note, I suppose we should bring it more lighter on it. But obviously, it's a big topic. Everybody cares so much about, isn't it?
One of the things, and again, might be post-edit. If you look at my vehicle, I don't advertise on my vehicle. I purposely don't advertise on my vehicle, because as soon as I put plumbing and heating, as soon as I do certain things to that vehicle, somebody smarter than me will know what's in that vehicle. They'll know they're going to get this, and they're going to get this, and they're going to get this. Yeah.
Without question, the first things they're going to get is like a drill or this or that, and like plumbing, press tool. And then you see them car boot for like 30 quid. The guy on the car boot selling it hasn't got any idea how much that's worth. He's just like, just get rid of it.
Again,
I've started again, sorry.
Started again, car boots, maybe they need to regulate that a lot more. But again, that's going to take manpower. And that's why we started this conversation off. Maybe tool manufacturers need to do something, possibly, or step up, or change the way that they're doing stuff. There has been various attempts over the years, but with little or no success. But it's a difficult point.
So, look, on a lighter note, before I started again,
I'm going to start crying. I'm going to start crying.
So, from a jobs point of view, or out at site, whether it be houses, I know obviously we're not going to mention names, places, or whatever. What's the weirdest or strangest or worst, if you like? I suppose always one. What's the weirdest one you've ever been to? Or
weirdest job. It's a difficult one, the weirdest one, because when you're working with a bunch of tradespeople, any day could be weird. You've got so many different personalities going on. God, weirdest job. I might have to come back to that one, because I can't think of that one straight away. But weirdest job. I suppose the weirdest job that I've got going on at the moment is social media. I'm joking. No, weird. No, I've never been involved in any weird jobs.
Worst thing you've seen, and that there's going to be a few of them out on site.
Again, there's been a couple where you've gone, oh my God, what proper. And we're not talking about gas related, because that's the job we're talking about. Oh my God, what's going on with that, or why has that happened? And I often wonder, this role that we undertake, almost like a detective in a lot of cases. And you're trying to trace things back, and why has that been done, and then moving backwards. Why have they done that? What was the train of thought? With different tradespeople. One of the weirdest jobs. I tell you what, one of the weirdest jobs I ever did. For about 5 years, I got out of this industry, and I was still involved with water. I was in water management, so I went to look for underground water leaks, and I was what's called a leakage engineer. And we got called to Heathrow Airport, and they had a leak. Now, Heathrow Airport has got underfloor heating underneath their runways, and they basically there was a machine called a correlator. Basically, it listens for sound. When you've got an underground water leak, it generates a certain sound frequency. So whether or not that be in cast iron or plastic or lead, you basically program this thing called a correlator. Anyway, we got invited out there, and they knew they had a leak because all the pipes are on an angle. So they had, and the steam pipes. So they had water vapor one end and water at the other end. So they knew they had a leak, but they couldn't determine where it was. Excuse me. They couldn't determine where the leak was.
Yeah.
So we use this thing, this a piece of equipment called a correlator. It basically listens for sound and it gives you a graph and it tells you a place to dig.
Yeah.
And because of the high frequency, because of the such long length, we had to we drove from the Wirral all the way down to London, and we had to go put this correlator out, and it was the most bizarrest thing. And we put them out, and the terminology at the time was called Manhattan skyline. It was just the graph wouldn't be clear, and we stood there with all these guys. We're doing this correlation, and I'm going, there's a little bit of interest there, and I just pointed it in, and it gives you a meterage. I said, but we wouldn't dig on it. I said, just out of curiosity, how much is it to do a dig in the runway of Heathrow Airport? And he said, we start off about 150 grand.
Right.
And I said, and then we go upwards. And I went, wow, I wouldn't dig on that.
No,
wouldn't dig on that at all. So anyway, about 3 months later, we got a phone call. Said they dug on it, and we found the leak.
And was it the spot you
said? It was spot on. It was a spot on leak. So that but weird and also pretty good. And then, the same sort of job. We've had farmers complain that we found water leaks and they've been a natural spring for 30 years. It's basically the water distribution network, but just pumping out water for 30 years.
It's absolutely scary, some of the things you go to. That's just reminded me of the farmer aspect of it. I remember going to one, and it was in a barn. It was a shower in a barn in the middle of a field, and it was back in the day, so it must be about 2014ish, with minus 17 and all that at Derbyshire Dales and all that.
Okay, yeah.
I was up there, and they said, the shower's not working for the farmers. I'm like, right, okay. And I went up there, and obviously it was frozen. It was like minus 17, no heating, no nothing. There was just like a instantaneous thing where you could just I can't remember what they used to call them. They have hot drink things and all that.
Yeah.
Just so they could have a quick shower.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that the guy didn't think. He says, "Well, it can't be frozen. It's got hot water going to it." And I was like, wow. But it is. It's just incredible. I could talk forever about going to different jobs. It's so good. Great stories, but it's scary as well.
Yeah.
Apparently it used to be like the engineer job, or you don't know what you're going into. It was like ranked or rated as one of the most dangerous jobs, other than the obvious.
Wow.
Because of, you just never know what's on the other side of that door.
You never know.
Yeah.
But that's interesting because, certainly with my self-employed career, I've never really looked at it from being a dangerous point of view. I've always looked at it from, we're there to do a task, we're there to do this, we're there to do that, and I've never really had. That's why I suppose I've had to revert back to when I was in my 20s, when I had this weird job of in the leakage. But yeah, every job you can. The characters have gone from the tradesmen now. They're from trades sites. They used to have some really crazy characters. Some things I would never dream of telling you on camera that used to happen. But you couldn't get away with it nowadays.
No, definitely not. So if you had to pick, be remiss of me not to mention us once.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one tool from Rothenberger, what you couldn't be without with, or the go-to tool, or the one I don't know, if there's one what we do, what other people just don't as well as, or I'm not having a pop at others, I'm just sort of saying in general, what would yours be? I know, for instance, Dan Tempest loves his manifold making, not the extractor, tube extractor.
So we talked about the tools getting stolen before. The only tool that I've still got from as a young apprentice, and one of the first tools I bought was my Rothenberger bender machine, and I could go out and get it now in the van. I've had it for 30 years.
Really?
Yeah. And it was, in fact, it was that old.
Is it one of the stand-up ones?
No, just a handheld.
Okay.
A handheld one.
Yeah.
So I've had it for that long. And the 12mm guide's gone. So it used to come with a 22, 15 and 12mm, because 12mm was a gas pipe that we used to use in gas fires.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we don't use that anymore.
No.
And that's how old I've had it. So that does have a special attachment to me. That's my oldest tool. It's battered, it's knackered, it's all the other things that goes on with that. But yeah, that's been that would be my I keep on.
You go to. Yeah.
One of those.
Whatever
Get it. It's still there now.
Yeah.
I won't replace it.
No.
It's been throughout my whole career.
It's not like Trigger's broom then, where it's had so many formers, so many guides, but it's still the same.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if I was to lose the guides, in fact, the guides have a little space in my toolbox. If I was to lose the guides, they'd probably be the same guides as the ones that you produce nowadays, the red ones. There's not much red on it, but it's rusted and it's great. But it does great. And probably the next thing. Before this ambassadorship, I was always buying Rothenberger products.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And my first press tool gun was a Rothenberger, was a Romax Rothenberger.
Yeah.
It was the one with the 4 triggers on it. I don't know if
the bigger one.
The bigger one. It was about that long. It was 4 triggers. It was great. And I'm talking about
230. Was it the 230 volt?
No, it was battery
as well.
Battery operated. And I remember seeing. And this is probably 18, 19, maybe 18 years ago. I remember seeing somewhere, and maybe in an article in a magazine, pre-social media, this press tools. And I thought, the hell is this? It looked super cool, looked really neat, and ultimately I thought it was fast. So I think at the time it cost me about £1,000. I think that back 18 years ago, it was a phenomenal amount of money. In fact, it was that new. That the suppliers at the time didn't have any fitting, so they had to order them in, and that would take 2 or 3 weeks to come through because they were that slow. So that always has a special place in my heart, because again I seen the advantage of having a press gun, and up until last year I still had it, and it still worked. Really? It still worked, and it was great. But I've got the new version now, and that's just absolutely fabulous. What's revolutionised press is the rings. Yeah, rings have revolutionised press.
Do you use them a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you think about that, this is where plumbers need to be educated a little bit. So you would come along and you go in. If you've got an open space or a plant room, you don't really have any problems with that. But they're few and far between. Yeah. So if you can press and you can get into different corners and different angles, it then becomes a lot more functional for plumbers. Yeah. And that's where the rings and that side of it really helps no end. So they would be my tool, as I say, my 2 Rothenberger tools that I've got a lot of affection for. Yeah.
Have you got a row bend?
Yes, I have got a row bend.
I love the way people don't realise.
Yes, I have got a row bend. Yeah, because I've lost the 28mm guide from it.
Where was it? Or had you lost it? Was it underneath the form?
Yeah, it was
underneath. To be fair to you, where they obviously used to package it, because it's the same colour as the bottom. So when I'm putting mine away on demos now, I always put one of the red ones under there instead, and all that. But yeah, you're not on your own.
So you've got row bend, which is great. Again, if you're doing a plant room, probably do when I'm working I'm doing the plant room here. They'll come out and we'll set it up. And then the freezing. What was the freezing kit used to call the Eco Freeze?
The Plum Freeze Eco.
Plum Freeze.
So like a little suitcase.
Yeah, still got that.
Yeah.
Still got
you
that.
Put
still
fluid
work.
Under.
Absolutely.
And it's still working.
Still working.
It's just that was just up to 22, wasn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But now upgraded to the new one of those.
Yeah, the Row Frost Turbo. But the old Plum Freeze Eco, they were. It's amazing just how many people didn't realise you had to put fluid in, and also important things with freezing anyway, hanging the hoses up and things like that to get the refrigerants back in and God knows what. So
I again, funny story with that. Tried to use it, tried to freeze with it. It failed, and I went, that's it. It's going back in the garage and put it away. And a couple of years later, I'm tidying out the garage, and I look at this thing and I go, right, I've had enough of this. I'm going to put it on a well-known auction site to try and get shut of it, because it's not working, parts or spares. Yeah. Anyway, before it went on there, I rang Rothenberger Technical. Don't know who I spoke to. Really nice guy. And he started laughing at me. I explained to him the situation. He said, "Do you know about the reservoir?" I said, "Yes, I know about the reservoir. The reservoir, yes, I top the reservoir up daily." And he said, "Do you know that the freezing clamps can also airlock?" And I went, "What?" And he went, oh, the airlock. He said, what you got to do is play it down on the floor.
Yeah.
So it's usually lower than the machine.
Yeah,
take
yeah.
everything off and run it for half an hour. It worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Someone was nearly going to get a bargain on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then he said it then. So, on a well-known auction site, someone was nearly going to get a bargain. But and it still kept it in the garage. The thing I loved about that was the defrost mode.
Yeah.
Defrost mode was great.
Yeah, most people say that.
But again, so you've always been there. Say from 30 years ago, from the first bending machine.
Fantastic, brilliant. What advice for new guys and girls coming into the trade? What's from what you remember when you started, or even now coming into it in this life, in this sort of generation? So including your social medias, including the ambassador type things, maybe. I mean, it is quite funny in some cases. What I will say at shows, and I ain't going to mention names. I probably can't remember names because it makes me laugh. They go, you'll get a young guy and go, oh, I want to be an influencer. Can I work with you? And surely it's post stuff first. Okay. Do some things get noticed. So what are your thoughts, and how would you advise people? Because it first and foremost, it should be about plumbing and heating.
Absolutely, yeah. And people who know me and people who've seen me speak, first and foremost, I always talk about all I do is I join pipes together for a living.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
Yeah,
just join pipes together.
Yeah,
and nothing special. The conscientiousness comes through. Yeah. So all I want to do is do a great job. I want to do a great job for my customers, and I want to leave them with a good impression of a great tradesman, hopefully. Yeah. So those three things has been the mission statement throughout the whole of my self-employed career. The influencer side, the social media side, is secondary in respect to that. I want to try and get that message out there. You do need to prove that you can do the job, I suppose. Yeah. But again, I am no different to you or the guys behind the cameras here or anybody on social media. No different. We've all got the same skill set. We've all got. It's just about effort. And it's about conscientiousness, and it's about what you can want to get away with. That'll do, won't do anymore.
That's a good.
But that'll do. It won't. It kind of won't do. So the social media's brought a lot of that to the forefront, where people. I say this. I've said this to numerous young people, that all I've ever wanted to do, the social media, as I say, it is completely alien to me. But all I've wanted to do is maybe change one person's way of working. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I never thought about this. Yeah. Oh, why has he done that? Have the conversation. Start the conversation. Why have you done... Hey, mate, why have you done that? I've done that because of this, this and this. All right, okay, yeah. Or why are you doing it like this? Yeah. And have those conversations, which then hopefully is going to make us better tradespeople and have a nation of better tradespeople. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. For me, that's what it's always been about. As I said to you before, it's not about me. It's always about me trying to influence the way that people are working. Yeah,
not trying to influence them to buy stuff, because I'm sure you wouldn't put a video on there, and if there's a product of ours, anybody's, you didn't like, you wouldn't just for the sake of it go on and go, oh yeah, buy one of these if it's crap.
I think
if it don't work for you.
But you are right, and again, people who know me, they know that the brand ambassadorships that I've got are the products I truly believe in. Yeah. I won't do one thing one day and do something else the next day. Yeah. But it is. I'm very proud of them all. And my dad would be super proud of some of the you're a global brand, a global company, and I'm just a guy that joins pipes together, and you've been, it's a two-way street. You want to be involved with me, you listening to my opinions, me listening to you guys and getting involved with you, and that's just with one of these. If you've got a few, but it doesn't come quick.
No.
You really have got to produce,
Yeah.
work, and you've got to put yourself out there.
Yeah. So you get imposter syndrome as well then? Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, every day. As I say, I just you hear me. I just join pipes.
And I think, but that's the thing though. I think the people who are that way are more conscientious and care more. I've met, we all have sort of ambassadors, influencers around the country, world, whatever, where they've looked at a certain person, because you might go, oh, there's, say, John Smith. There's John Smith or something. And they're sort of, I've even seen like they turn their nose a bit, like, oh, yeah, I'm John Smith, I work for so-and-so. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Having that realism, what you've just said.
Real.
Yeah.
And we were starting off this conversation last week about we're going to do the podcast, and the location we were originally going to have, and I said, hang on a second, let's not do that. Let's come to site.
Yeah.
Let's do it real. You might hear some drills in the background because there's some work going on upstairs.
Yeah.
But that's what we're at. That's where we're at. I'm a tradesperson. I'm nothing. I wouldn't say nothing special. But I'm a tradesperson. It means I'm proud. I'm a very, very proud tradesperson.
And I think this is probably the only one we've had so far because of where we are. At the end of this, it'd be quite good if we just followed you around.
It's a cable hanging down.
Yeah, there's
electric cable just hanging around.
We won't say what that looks like. But Paul, thank you so much. That's been absolutely brilliant. Lovely to see you, and hope to see you again soon.